Now, imagine walking outside of your home, school or work and being hit with the smell of rotten egg. That's the reality for people who live in Fleetwood. A landfill site has been emitting the odour for over a year now, with some people complaining of nosebleeds and breathing problems as a result. For half a century, waste was dumped on the Jameson Road landfill site before it closed in 2017. But in late 2023, a new operator, Transwaste, took over and began a £2 million worth of work to bring the site up to operational standards. That meant disturbing old waste in a cell that had laid dormant for 6 years. The residents first reported the rotten egg smell, thought to be hydrogen sulfide, in February last year. Transwaste said it would be temporary while the upgrade took place and that it was working to resolve the issue. A campaign called Stop the Stink has been underway to close the site permanently, and children from a local primary school are the latest to back it. Let's have a look.
Would you like to stand up for what's right?
Imagine waking up every morning
To the smell of rotten eggs.
That's our life.
You wake up.
Open your window and the smell hits you.
It's in your nose.
In your throat.
It's everywhere.
Go outside to play.
Forget it. It stinks.
Might sit in the garden. Can't play footy.
You can't even get some fresh air.
Because it makes you feel sick. It's disgusting. We've had it for months. Months! How's that fair? People keep saying something will be done.
But nothing changes.
We shouldn't have to put up with this. If this was in your own house, you'd sort it.
The adults have been trying.
They've complained. And you shouted.
But nothing's happened.
So maybe, just maybe, if they won't listen to the adults,
Maybe they'll listen to us.
So let's find out more. Dave McPartlin is head teacher of Fleet Primary School. Morning to you.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming this morning. Much more importantly, we've got pupils Hattie, Tayron and Liam with us today as well. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Let's start with you, Hattie. Can you describe for us and for the people at home listening what that smell is like?
It's just disgusting, really. It smells like rotten eggs and it's making people ill and everything. No.
What's it make you feel? So, describe it for me. When you come out of your house, you're going to school, when does it hit you? What does that feel like?
I don't like it. It just feels to me like it's not Fleetwood time.
No, not nice. Tayron, what about you? What does it feel? What does it smell like?
it just smells like Hattie said, rotten eggs, and it's just really disgusting.
Is it really bad? I mean, can you get away from it?
It's really bad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really bad.
I think people would be surprised how bad it is at the moment. If you imagine somebody set off stink bombs outside your house, you'd wash it up, wouldn't you? You'd get rid of that smell. That's what these are waking up to many, many times, every week, every month. And it's been going on such a long time, and we've had enough, haven't we?
Yeah. Liam, does it make you, you know, when you're trying to concentrate during lessons or when you're trying to have a play in the playground, does it affect how easy it is to learn and to play? Is it a bit distracting sometimes?
Yeah, because the smell, it's just like a horse has been running through the grounds. It just smells like someone has just set off stink bombs, like Mr. McPartlin said.
And no one has set off stink bombs, have they? Tell the truth.
I really hope that they haven't. It's not like some cruel prank. Do you know a real example the other day? We had to call in people to have a look. We thought we had a gas leak in school because the smell had permeated the building to such an extent. Honestly, it's horrendous.
So, Dave, let's pick up some of the thoughts of the people who run the site itself and the Environment Agency. Because that's their responsibility for it being there and being allowed is the Environment Agency. Yeah. You've had dealings with them, obviously.
Well, I mean, I think my understanding is they've had thousands of complaints, and the way that I see it and the way that we see it is the Environmental Agency, they're paid to represent, it's a public body paid to represent us, to keep us safe and, you know, do right by us. And somewhere, somebody needs to take some accountability and do something about this horrendous smell.
So let's go through some of the detail on this, because Transwaste, they're the people who own the landfill site. Their team has said, they're quoting the UK Health Security Agency. It gets a bit detailed, some of this stuff, straight away, doesn't it? They say that recent monitoring showing hydrogen sulfide levels of between 3 and 8 parts per billion which is very low. Typically, the smell threshold is about 10 parts per billion, or this can vary slightly. So their contention is that actually the smell, relative to the standards that are set, is beneath those levels.
I can't get my head around that. You know, you come in on a morning, you know, you've got to the point where we've got this beautiful view over to the Lake District. People don't want to go for walks on the beach. They don't want to take the dogs for a walk. You know, the kids are talking about it on the playground, and you can't help but feel that something should have been done a long time ago. And I appreciate they're going to quote all these things. At the end of the day, for the people living in Fleetwood, it's not okay. We know that it's not okay, and that's why the kids want to try something different. If they're not going to listen to the adults, maybe they'll listen to the children. It's not okay.
So what the authorities are saying is it's not actually that bad. What would you say to that?
Well, they're lying, because it is actually that bad. It's like worse.
And what year are you in, Tyrone? You're in
5.
So you're in year 5. Has it been getting worse or better, would you say?
Worse.
I mean, interestingly, just sorry to cut across, but in year 5, I'd heard the children talking about it in the corridor. I'm thinking this is the first time I've heard the kids talking about it. You know, 7, 8 years old. So I came around to your class, didn't I? I said, have you all noticed the smell? What do you think about it? How many hands went up?
Like, literally the whole class.
The whole class. The whole class had something to say about this smell in the town. And when we're talking about encouraging the children to be physically active, to look after our mental health, that can't be good on any level for anybody.
Do you think... I was just going to ask Hattie, do you think that... You heard what some of the people who are in charge of this are saying about it, that it's not that bad. Do you think they should come down one time and sniff it and actually do the sniff test?
Definitely.
Would you invite them to do that?
Yeah.
And if they did, what do you think they would say?
I probably think they'll say that, like, it's just normal. Like, you can't really do anything about it. It's the tip.
Liam, you see that number 4 there? Why don't you have a look in there? And if the people are watching who are in charge of the smells and they say the smells are okay, what would you like to say to them if you could talk to them?
Come on, Liam, get them told.
You give them a piece of your mind, Liam.
If it's really not that bad, then how come there's so many people complaining about it and everyone is getting sick off it? And, yeah.
Enough's enough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know, one of the curious things about this, you're a head teacher, Dave. This is not your territory, but your territory is looking after your...
Do you know, it's not my territory. It shouldn't be our territory.
My question was, it's a curious one where you work effectively for local council, don't you? That's who looks after the education system. But they don't have a say in where this landfill site is, do they?
No, I mean, I'm not going to pretend that I'm an expert on it. I'd like to think I'm a community leader. We use our voice for good. The reality is, and there's lots of people got lots of interesting opinions out there, when I've reached out to LCC, Y Council, they're all very, very supportive. I think everybody's trying to make this go away. But ultimately, for me, it's a trans waste issue and the Environment Agency. Somebody has to take some responsibility. We're going into these we all talked about it, didn't we? That it's lighter nights. We're coming into the summer at exactly the point where you want to spend more time out and about. We're a tourist place. We want people to come and visit us. They're not going to come if it stinks. You know, what's it doing to our population? You know, there's lots of things that we don't have, but one of the things that we do have is we're a community, we're close-knit, we look after one another, and we're standing up, aren't we, for what's right on this one.
Thank you very much for bringing us your insight. Just to say that Transwaste, who run the site, say they are going to install 11 deep gas wells to maximise gas extraction, and the Environment Agency have told us they will not hesitate to take enforcement action if they don't see improvements. So hopefully it will be resolved for everybody's noses.
How was the TV experience for you?
Good.
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 Good. It was good. It was good. Nice one. Thanks for having us. We'll go back to school now, shall we?
Nice to see you all. Thank you very much. It's time now to get the news channel.